Brilliant. So today's class, and the theme for this week, in fact, is all about immunity, for obvious reasons. And let's start. So lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, raise your hands up. Reverse, stretch up, press your feet into the ground. Breathing out, just pulse to one side. Breathe into the center, stretch up. Breathing out, pulse to the other side. Breathing in, stretch up. Press your feet down and look up only if this is appropriate for your neck. Look back to normal again and lift your feet up. Try your balance. Bring your feet back down. Turn to one side and you can pulse this. Come to the center and turn to the other side and pulse. And come to the center. And then press your feet down again, look up and almost go into a slight back bend. If that's not good for your neck, then look straight ahead. Come back to the center and lower your arms to shoulder height. Breathing out, turn to look beyond the third finger of one hand. Come back to the center and turn your head to look beyond the finger of the other hand. And come back to center. And then place your hands on your waist by lifting and rolling your shoulders. You can step out a little bit to bend your knees, and you can see that my bottom's going away from me. This is activating the stomach or lower abdominal muscles. Press your feet down to bring yourself back up again. Lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Clasp your hands behind your back. And breathing out, turn to the left. Come to the center and breathing out, turn to the right. You can pulse again. Come to the center. Bend your knees and come over. Bending, hands up. Press your feet down to come to center. Separate your hands. Slide your hands down your legs. Press your hands into your shins, lengthening. Breathing out, bend your knees, bend your elbows. Breathing in. Stay here as you breathe out. And as you next breathe in, bend your knees, press your feet into the ground as you roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And raise your hands up. Breathing out, lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Clasp your hands together at the back in reverse prayer. Now if that's not possible, then hold your wrists or hold your elbows. But whichever position you adopt, turn to the left. You can pulse the movement. Come to the center. Turn to the right. You can pulse the movement. Come to the center. Bend your knees. This is optional to come forward. Just feel that you're pressing your little fingers together. Your palms tend to separate on the little finger side. Press your feet down as you roll up. Lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders and raise your hands. Lower your hands back down along your side. Come to the top of the mat. Lift and roll your shoulders. Bring your hands together. Breathing in, hands up. Look up if that's appropriate for your neck, if not, look straight ahead. Breathe out, bend your knees as you roll down, hands either side of you. Step back with your right foot. Keep your right foot high. Tummy in, step back with your left so that you're in plank. Heels up. Bend your knees, come to kneeling. Bend your elbows and slide through. Come to a mini cobra or sphinx on your way through to lying flat on the ground, your arms stretched out in front of you. Slide your hands back, elbows in. Press down with your hands to lift yourself back to kneeling. Tuck your toes. Feel that you can adjust both your hands and your knees at any point to come into a soft downward dog. Bring your weight away from your hands and feel free to adjust your feet. And then bend your knees, lengthen your spine, and then straighten your legs. Your heels don't have to touch the ground, they're just aiming towards the ground. And then walk the dog. You can sway your hips from one side to the other. Stretch back and downward dog, and then bend both knees back down to the ground. Hands go to the left. Right foot comes up. Bring your hands either side of your right foot and just stretch forward, enjoying the stretch. Bring yourself back so that your knee forms an angle of 90 degrees. Kneel up. Raise your left hand, and then breathing out, bring your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and hold your right waist with your right hand and turn in a slight twist. Come back to the centre, tummy in or lower abdominal muscles engage upwards slightly, in and up. Hands either side of your right foot. Tuck your back left toes underneath. Lift up your back left knee and step your left foot to your right foot. Hands on your shins, inhaling. Breathing in. Breathing out, bend your knees, bend your elbows. Breathing in, press your hands on your shins. Breathing out, stay here. And breathing in, bend your knees as you press your feet down, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Raising your hands up, looking up if that's appropriate. Breathing out, lowering your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Breathing in, hands up. Stretch up, stretch your fingers. Breathing out, roll down. Hands either side of your feet. Step back with your left foot. Just keep the left leg extended, you're high. Engage your lower abdomen in slightly to support you as you step back with your right foot in a plank. Heels up, and then bend both knees back down to the ground. Soften your knees as you bring your bottom backwards slightly, and then slide your elbows on the ground to slide into effectively a sphinx pose, really. And then just slide your arms out, come fully stretched, lying on your abdomen. Stretching your fingers, stretching your toes. Slide your hands back to your chest, elbows in. Press down with your hands. Tuck your toes. Engage your lower abdominal muscles again as you come back up into soft downward dog. Feel that you can adjust your feet wider and bring your feet closer to your hands if you need to. And then walk the dog a couple of times, just swaying from side to side. Remember to engage your lower abdominal muscles slightly even here. Gaze the perineum up, lower abdomen comes in. And then stretching back, bend both knees back down to the ground. Hands go to the right this time to bring your left foot up. Kneel up, raise your right arm, stretch the right fingers, tummy in. Bring your right arm across your body to your left thigh and place your left hand on your waist, lengthen your body. And breathing out, turn. Breathing in, lengthen your body, and breathing out, turn. Come back to the centre, bring your hands either side of your left foot, tuck your toes underneath, tummy in, engage your perineum slightly, lift your back right knee and step your right foot to your left foot, hands on the shins. Lengthen as you breathe in. Breathe out, bend your knees, bend your elbows. Breathing in, lengthen. Stay here as you breathe out, and breathing in, press your feet into the ground, bend your knees and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing, raising your hands up. Look up if that's appropriate for your neck, and breathing out, lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, hands together.
Inhale, hands up, almost a back bend, look up, if that's good for your neck. Breathing out, roll down.
Stepping back, right foot, left foot into a high plank. Tummy in, bend your knees, bring them to the ground. Bend your elbows, bottom back, and then slide forwards into Sphinx. And then slide your arms totally forward, lying on your front. Slide your hands back to either side of your chest. Press your hands down. Come to kneeling. Tuck your toes. Tummy in again. Come to a very soft downward dog. Walk the dog. Stretch back. Bend your knees back down to the ground. Hands to the left. Your right foot comes up. Hands either side of your right foot, just stretch. This time, come to kneeling high. Lift and roll your shoulders, open your hands, your palms forwards, and look up if your balance allows you to do so. If not, just look straight ahead. Bring your hands either side of your front right foot, tuck your back left toes, lift your left knee, and step your left knee to your right foot, hands on the shins. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, bend your knees, bend your elbows. Breathe in, lengthen. Stay here as you breathe out and soften your knees as you breathe in. Press your feet down and roll up to standing. Arms up, stretch up, look up. Breathing out, lower your hands, lift and roll your shoulders. Clasp your hands behind your back and aim your knuckles to the ground, opening the shoulders. Slide your hands down the backs of the legs to the ground. Bending your knee, left foot back, stay high, right foot back, you're in plank, heels up, tummy in, bend your knees, bend your elbows, your bottom goes back slightly, slide forward onto your elbows into Sphinx, and then just extend totally, lying on the floor, stretching out. Here you can tuck your toes under to extend your heels, and you might find your legs lift off. Just stretch back. Release your legs back down to the ground. Slide your hands to either side of your chest as you press your hands down. Come back onto your knees, tuck your tummy or engage your abdominal muscles. Come to a very soft downward dog. Stretch your feet out wide if you need to. Bring them closer. Walk the dog a couple of times. Stretch back. Bend your knees back down to the ground, hands go to the right, left foot steps up, hands either side of your left foot. Kneel up, lift and roll your shoulders and open your palms so you're opening your lung meridians here. You can look up if this allows, your balance allows, your neck allows you to do that, otherwise look ahead. Tummy in as you come forward, hands either side of the left foot. Tuck your right toes underneath, engage your left abdomen in, lift up and then step your right foot to your left foot. Hands on the shins as you breathe in, lengthening. Breathe out, bend in, bend your elbows out to the side. Breathe in, lengthening from the tailbone to the top of the head. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, press your feet into the ground as you roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing, lifting up, stretching your fingers. Lowering your hands, lift and roll your shoulders. So this next round we'll go a little bit faster. Breathe in, hands together at the palms as you breathe out. Breathe in, hands up. Breathe out, lower your hands. Step back, right foot, left foot, plank. Bend your knees. Come to Sphinx. Then come to lying on the floor, stretching out. Slide your hands back, press down, come to kneeling, come to downward dog. Walk the dog a couple of times. Stretch back, bend both knees. Hands to the left, right foot comes up. Hands either side of the right foot, tuck your left toes. Lift up your left knee. Step left foot to right foot. Press your feet down as you roll up vertebra by vertebra. Stretch your hands. Lower your hands back down alongside you. Lift and roll your shoulders.
Inhale, exhale, hands together at the heart centre. Breathing in, stretching up, breathing out, rolling down.
Step back, left foot, right foot high, plank, heels up, and then knees to the ground, bottom back. Slide through to Sphinx,
And then slide out.
to being on your abdomen, stretch. Hands back, either side, elbows in, kneel. Tuck your toes into downward dog. Walk the dog a couple of times. Bend your knees, stretch back. Bend both knees back down to the ground, hands go to the right. Left foot up, hands either side of your left foot. Tuck your back right toes, tummy or abdomen in, lift up. With your right knee, step right foot to left foot, press your feet down as you roll up.
Stretch. And breathing out, lower your hands, lift and roll your shoulders. Come to lift one shoulder and then the other. Lift and drop, lift and drop, and lift and drop. And once more, raise your hands up. Reverse, stretch up with your hands, press down with your feet. To the side as you pulse, come to the centre, stretch up, look up if you can, come back with your head to the centre, pulse to the other side, come to the centre, stretch up, come back to the centre, turn and pulse if you want to, come to the centre, breathing out, pulse to the other side, come to the centre. And then release your hands as you bend your knees and come back down. Slide your hands down to wherever they're comfortable. Clasp them and then reverse them so that your palms are facing the floor. Turn to your left, over your left foot. Come to the centre. Breathing out, turn to the right. Come to the centre. Separate your hands, place your hands on the floor, step out a little bit and come to a squat, whatever is good for you. If you want to do a half squat or you want to come down to a total squat, come to a squat. So brilliant for your lower back and your thighs. You can hold the floor. If you're not coming down to a squat, then come down to where it suits you. And then press your hands down to assist you to come up. You're still in a forward bend. Bring your feet forward. Clasp behind your calves and just hold on to your calves and just pull yourself in. And then straighten your legs while you're still holding your calves, stretching the backs of your legs. And then soften your feet as you press your feet into the ground to roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing and lift and roll your shoulders. And then bring your hands out as we move all the joints flying by bending our knees. We're moving the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders through to the neck. And at the base we're moving the ankles, the knee joints through to the hips. Your ribs are lifting as you breathe in and raise your wings, and you're breathing out, lowering your wings. And you're lifting under the arms, so your immune system is being energized, which you need for your part of your health and your immune system. And then lower your hands. Bring your hands just softly below your navel, which is your dantian, and then just breathing in, raise your hands up over your head, separate your hands and bring your hands down beside you. This very gentle movement is cleansing or just working through your magnetic aura. It's just clearing your energy field. You're breaking the connection, literally, physically, between you and the outside world. So it kind of brings a soft focus and improves your mental function. It just is calming. And then just lowering your hands. Just lift and roll your shoulders. So I talked about immunity, and this is very much immunity taken from, you'll find it across a lot of traditions, but I'm just tipping in on this particular.
instance, to almost like the Kerala warriors for their immunities. So this works the upper lungs, and today's current climate, these 3 exercises are really, really useful. So we're going to be breathing in as we raise our hands and breathing out as you pull the air down. If you're at home, you can do this through your nose classically, but you can also use your mouth. So breathing in audibly and then breathing out. And then speed up. And last one. And release your hands. Just go from side to side. I'm lifting my heels as I'm turning my body from one side to the other, but how much you turn is up to you. And then just swing your hands. And then once again, breathing in, raising your arms up, clasp your hands, reverse, stretch up. To one side, pulse, center, lift up, to the other side, pulse, center, lift up, turn to the side, come to the center, breathing out, turn to the other side. Come to the center. Press your feet down, stretch your palms upwards and look up, if that is possible for you. If not, look straight ahead. And then bring your head back to the center. Separate your hands and just dip your bottom behind you in a little chair pose, activating the abdominal muscles. Stand up again and then just bring your arms out to the side. Bring your second finger inside the thumb so that you've got Dhyana Mudra. Just breathing in and out and turning your head to the left as you breathe out. Breathing in to the center and breathing out, turn your head to the right. Come to the center. Turn your palms up so that the little finger's almost facing backwards. And do the same again, breathe out, turn to the left. Come to the center and breathing out, turn to the right. Come to the center, lower your arms and lift and roll your shoulders. And then clasping your hands behind you, knuckles aimed to the floor. Bring your hands out behind you a little bit, then turn to the left. Come to the center and then turn to the right. And come to the center. And if this is appropriate for you, bend your knees. If not, just do the same again. And come forward. You only lift your hands once your head is down. Press your feet into the ground as you come up. And then just release. Just open and close your fingers a couple of times as you roll your hands up, stretch out, and then breathing out, roll your hands down. Particularly if you're involved in close work, very good to stretch your fingers in and out. And then we'll look also at the feet. So when you march on the spot, whether it's a little march or a big march, you're activating a vibration that travels from your feet all the way to the top of your head. And this has many benefits. It keeps everything moving in your body, so movement is anti-illness. But also I wanted to add that this marching on the spot is very good for lowering the blood sugar, which I hadn't realised until quite recently. So then just come to stillness, lift and roll your shoulders, and we're going to work on the middle part of the lungs. So just make fists and place your arms under your armpits. Just feel that you can adjust those, because if you breathe in and like chicken wings, just bring, or bird's wings, just almost bash, which is not the correct word, but just you can connect with your ribs if you want to. So breathing in, breathing out. You can breathe through your nose. If you particularly want to do through your mouth as well. last one. And then release. Lift and roll your shoulders. Just shake like a vulture up and down. And then again from side to side, just to bring this also, as you're going from side to side, reaffirms your balance, certainly on your hips, but it's your balance generally. So it's just evening you up from side to side. It's a very easy way to do this. And then just swing your hands backwards and forwards. We're going to come to the final of the lung immune boosters, which works on the lower lungs, but it also engages your lower abdominal area. And this is very much part of the Kerala warrior almost fight position, because if you're strong in your core, you can ward off the enemy. In those days, many generations ago, disease was an enemy as well, but it's fair to say that you're going to be caught less off your guard if your core is engaged. So stand with your feet a little bit hip width apart, and I don't know if you can see me, I'm bringing my hands out and back almost, and again, audibly, breathing in, and last one. Keep your feet hip width apart, and we'll just go do a very familiar side to side. That last exercise also tones up your digestive system internally as well. So just side to side. If you did any one of those lung exercises, so that's the top one, that's the middle one, and that's the third lower one, then just one of those on its own would massively boost your immune system. We've done all three. So you're completely toned. All the stale air and toxins in your system have been expelled. You've toned up your digestive system, but in a terribly gentle way. And then just enjoy swaying from side to side, because we're going to come down to the mat and do some very gentle mat movement, just to balance our bodies out, and then just come to sway less. Come to standstill, bring your feet together, just spend a breath in and out, just noticing the movement that we've been doing and how that impacts the body, but also will impact the mind. The two are interlinked. And then just come to lying on the mat with your knees bent, however that's appropriate for you. And just take a moment to have your feet hip width apart. Your chin is not tucked down, but the back of your neck is long, it's not all crunched up. Your hands can rest on your abdomen, elbows are out, as you just gently sway both knees from side to side. How much you sway the knees from side to side is up to you. You'll lift your hip off as you're swaying. It's just massaging across your lower back, or almost the top of your sacrum. And then come to the centre. And keeping your right foot where it is, but please make any adjustments that you need to. Hug your left knee into your chest. And just circle your left knee, holding your left knee with both hands in one direction. And then circle your left knee in the other direction. Drop your hands to your left thigh and extend your left foot up towards the ceiling. You can keep a bend in your left knee. Extend your left heel and point your left toes as you flex and point your left foot. And then gently circle your left ankle in one direction.
and circle your left ankle in the other direction. Slide your hands up the back of your left leg to where they are comfortable and extend your left heel. It might be to your shin, you might walk your hands up a bit further, you might even hold your left foot wherever it's appropriate for you, and then slide your hands back down again, hug your left knee into your chest, and let your left knee and foot come back down to the ground. Just sway your knees from side to side. And keeping your left foot where it is, but please make any adjustments. Hug your right knee into your chest. And just very gently circle your right knee in one direction. And then very gently circle your right knee in the other direction. And then dropping your hands to support your right thigh, extend your right foot up towards the ceiling and extend your right heel. And point and flex your right foot a couple of times. And then circle your right ankle in one direction. And then circle your right ankle in the other direction. Just stretch your toes, stretch both toes, and then release. And then slide your hands up the back of your right leg. You can extend your right heel. And just go to where you're comfortable. So it might be here, or your calves, or it might go to your ankle, or you might even be able to hold your foot wherever it's appropriate for you. Just check that your chin doesn't shoot up. Your chin and back of your neck is long. And then release, hug your right knee into your chest. And then replace back down onto the floor. Hands on the abdomen as you just gently rock from side to side. And then keeping your right leg where it is, pick up your left knee, holding your left knee, breathe out, hug your left knee in towards your chest, still holding the knee, let the left knee extend away to arm's length. Breathing out, hug the left knee into the chest. And breathing out, let the left knee extend away from you. So do this a couple of more times. This is working on our foundational energies. So again, it's very anti-pain. If you've got any stiffness, you've been sitting for a long time. Works on the lower back, but also the lower abdominal area. So it's boosting up the whole system in a very gentle way. And very gently replace and just put your left foot back onto the ground. You can support your left thigh or your left leg. Just wave your knees for a couple of times from side to side. And then keeping your left foot where it is, bring up your right knee and hug your right knee into your chest. Still holding the right knee, just again let your right knee travel away from you to arm's length. As you breathe in and then breathing out, hug your right knee in towards you. And do this a couple of times. So this is wonderful for boosting circulation in the lower abdominal area, but also along the lower spine. The spine is being held by the mat, by the floor, and your muscles supporting your back can begin to relax and let go. And then keep hold of your right knee and let your left knee join it, so you're hugging both knees into the chest. Hug both knees into the chest and then let both knees extend away while you're holding them. Hug both knees into the chest and then let both knees move away. Hug both knees into the chest, let both knees move away. Hug both knees into the chest and let both knees move away. And just do that a couple of times in your own breath. Space. And then hugging the knees in, just gently rock from side to side as well. You can rock a little bit or you can rock a lot. Your hips can come off the ground. Your elbows can even touch either side of you. It's your movement, your choice. And then just gently supporting the legs as you place both feet one at a time onto the ground. Your feet are hip width apart, your knees are upwards. Just hands down, palms down, just a couple of pelvic tilts, lifting almost your bottom off the ground, but not quite, and then relaxing as you just move your pelvis very gently. And then just come to stillness as you place your hands on your abdomen and your elbows are out to the side. And just notice your breath. As you breathe in, your abdomen rises slightly, and as you breathe out, the abdomen falls away from you. And then as we're here, just come to have a thought for the day. It can be for yourself or for anybody you want to wish well for the day ahead. And mentally repeat that thought a couple of times so that you set your intention for the day, your sankalpa. And now choose a colour, any colour, and just imagine wrapping yourself inside and out like an auric egg with your favourite colour for today, offering you protection for the day ahead. Only positive things can come in, nothing, and positive thoughts. Negative can leave, nothing negative can come in. So you're cocooned in your auric colour, your auric egg for the day, wrapped and protected. And then you can either stay here, just enjoying relaxation, lying on the mat, or if you want to come to join me to finish the class, you can begin to move your fingers and toes and begin to hug your knees perhaps into your chest. Make effectively whatever movement you need to, and no hurry. You've relaxed and let the movement that we made today absorb into the body, so don't spoil it by rushing up suddenly. Perhaps come to the side. If you're going to roll to your side and the right side's available to you, that's all good. It moves away from your heart. And taking your time to very gently come up to the seated position. To bring your hands to your heart, lower your chin to your chest. Thank you very much indeed.